Good evening, you guys. Nice to see I've got some people gonna craft with me tonight. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's see. We're just gonna wait a couple minutes to get a few more people on. Let me just put in a comment here. All right, so we are going to be using Ornate Garden Specialty Paper. As you can see, this is not that paper, but I'm going to change this card up using different colors for this flower here and also the designer series paper. Everything else should be the same. Just wanted to show how versatile our products are and how easy it is to make a cute card with just limited designer series paper there. So let's see. I've got all my supplies ready. We're going to use a couple stamp sets. We're going to use the Butterfly Brilliance, which is a background stamp. And also we're going to use Happy Thoughts. All right, so give a shout out as to where you're watching from. That would be great. I always love to know where everybody's from. I am actually coming on about a half an hour earlier than normal because it's the crossover event with Grey's Anatomy. So it's Thursday. That's one of my favorite shows. So I'm taping it right now so I can watch it a little bit later tonight. So that's what I do on my Thursday nights. I'm usually not live, but it's my birthday week. So we are doing a few live videos, actually 7. So I started on Monday and now it's Thursday, so tonight is night 4, and at the very end we'll be giving away another prize from last night, or actually I announced what it was going to be last night, and I did pull the winner right before I came on live using the random generator numbering thing. So all right, so I've got Lori here from Oregon. Nice to, oh, that's way across the United States. I've actually never been to that state. And happy birthday. Yeah. Yeah, so it was so super nice here today. Like I was gonna go to the gym and because I just need to, but it was 74 degrees today and it was so nice. So I decided to come home and rake pine needles and leaves and pine cones and stuff out back. So that's what I did for about an hour. But anyway, all right, we're gonna get started here. And if people can jump on, that'd be great as we go through. So thanks for stopping by, and we're gonna get started. A few little things. So this card here uses mint macaron, and that's what we're going to be using in the card I'm going to be making. So we're going to do some background stamping here, tone on tone. On the inside, this was just kind of a sample card. I didn't design the inside, but on the card we're going to be making together tonight, I'm going to design the inside, and I'm going to be using some products on this card tonight that I'm going to be using in my April card club, which I'm going to market tonight. So if you are on my email list, you should be getting that pretty late, probably at 9:30, 10 o'clock Eastern time. So you can go to inspiredbygraham.com to add your email address to my list, and then you'll get the information on my April card club offering. So, all right, so let's get started here. I did a couple things prior. So let me just move this card over here. The products we're going to be using are this beautiful Ornate Garden Specialty Paper. It's on the last chance list for $6, okay? $6, like super great deal. I love all the floral patterns in the specialty. It's specialty paper because of the gold that they use in it. So It cost a little bit more, but on clearance for $6, you can't go wrong. I made a bunch of journals because I do craft fairs, so this paper is just beautiful to use on journals and notebooks if you do decorate them. So $6, super good deal. All right, we're also going to be, and this is the Butterfly Brilliance. It's going to be our background stamp. I did show this, I think it was last night, and I have it on an F block, a really, really big block, the biggest one that we carry. So I'm going to be using that. I embossed the terracotta tile paper, which we're going to punch out in the Ornate Floral embossing folder. This goes with the paper, but it really goes with a lot of different stamp sets that we have, and especially the Designer Series paper. I use this one a lot, so I'm sure you've seen me use this one quite a bit. It just makes a really nice 3D background. All right, and then the other stamp set I'm going to be using is called Happy Thoughts. It's a cling stamp set, so both of them are cling. And since it's my birthday week, we're going to be using the Happy Birthday. So that's the stamp set we'll be using. The ink colors are going to be Memento Black for the sentiment. And then Tone on Tone Mint Macaron, that's going to match the Designer Series paper. Okay, so let's see. We're going to ink up this large stamp here. As you can see, this is the background stamp. And I've got it on the super big block, which is the F block. I think this block is priced at $17. So what you're going to want to do, I've got a piece of the Mint Macaron already cut, and it's cut 4 by 5 1/4. All right, and then you're going to want to make sure you have some scrap paper so your hands don't get all inky. But so I've got just some copier paper here. And what I'm going to do is I've got my ink pad all the way open, and I'm just going to take the ink pad to the stamp. Okay. And I'm just going to make sure I've got enough ink on there. And then we're going to take this paper here, and I'm just going to lay it right down on top of the stamp. Okay, then I'm going to take the paper. Now this is protecting my hands from getting all inky. So I'm just going to rub all the way around, especially getting to the edges. And I'm sorry if the camera's moving. I think it's shaking just a little bit, but I apologize for that. So you just want to make sure you get good pressure all the way around, and then we'll lift that up and see, you can see where the ink is, and then we'll just kind of peel this off very carefully. And then we've got those beautiful butterflies from the Butterfly Brilliance stamp. Okay, so we're all done with this large stamp. I'm going to get that out of the way, and we don't need the scrap paper, so we're all done with that. So the next step is really simple. I've got a few pieces inside too. So this is just Mint Macaron. It's 8.5 by 5.5. I've already pre-scored it at 4 1/4. And then this piece here is just gonna get layered right on top. So that's like really super simple. I'm going to grab my silicone craft sheet just to put underneath my work surface here, and also it helps me start the stamp and seal, because sometimes it's a little fussy and doesn't want to start. But if you use the silicone craft sheet and you start a little bit off to the side, it will start perfectly. All right, so we're just gonna layer this right on top with a 1/4 inch border. Okay, then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of that Ornate Ornate Garden Designer Series paper, and some basic white is my panel here that's gonna go underneath. The basic white is cut 2 3/4 across and 4 1/8, and the Ornate Garden and Designer Series paper is cut 2.5 by 4. So lots of, I know we all have lots of scraps in our craft room. So this is a nice card that you can use up scraps for. All right, so this has just got a small little border on all four sides, an 1/8 of an inch border. All right, now we're going to, the next thing we want to do is, I have no idea if you can see this or not, but underneath this flower that I made, there's a piece of vellum doily here underneath. I think you can see it. So we're going to accent the card with that vellum doily, and these are going to be on one of my cards for April card club. To maximize our doily, we're just going to cut it in half. Okay, just use my paper snips. We'll save this one for another card project. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this right underneath so it does stick out just a little bit. I'm going to run my adhesive alongside here, just one side. And then I'm going to, there is a right and wrong side for this. So make sure you have the smooth side facing you so it's upright. And then I'm just going to layer this about a 1/2 inch extending out, and I'm just kind of looking at the distance at the top and the bottom just to make sure they're equal, and then just press it on there. Okay, so that's stuck pretty well. We're going to flip it over, and I'm going to add some Stampin' dimensionals to the back side of this panel because we're going to give it some height. So let's stick on 5 of these. Okay, and then just press them down pretty good so they get stuck really nicely, and then we'll just peel off those backings. All right, so now let's take this panel here, and then we're going to add it over to the left side over here, because we've got a sentiment strip that's going to go across down here. So we want a little bit more room on the right side. So we're just going to press that down. So super easy. The reason why I chose the mint macaron is because the back color and the way back is the same color. So I wanted that kind of feel all the way through the card there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the happy birthday just so that the ink does dry. So I've got the Memento Black. You could use the mint macaron again if you really wanted to. It doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp here with the Memento Black, and I'm going to stamp over here. Now this is extra long, and there's a reason for that. One, in case I messed up, I could have another piece to stamp. Like I got some ink right there. I have no idea how I did that. That's really strange. So we're going to get another strip because I have a backup right here. So that little dot kind of bothered me. So I'm going to restamp it. Again, I'm just going to hover over that stamp, and I'm kind of looking at an angle, so it's a little bit harder than if I wasn't on camera myself. All right, so I did it again, so must be I've got ink on that block, but that's okay because that's going to get cut off anyway. All right, so we're done with this ink. It's really juicy is another reason why, is because I used it in an in-person class, and I just re-inked all the Memento pads that I had. All right, so now this piece here is going to get layered on, okay? But before I cut it off, I kind of want to know about where that flower is going to go. So we're going to build up this flower here. I'm not using Magenta Madness. I'm going to be using terracotta tile, and I'm using the Perennial Flower Punch. So this does lock, which is really nice. So you can store them flat, and you just kind of press open that little button. And then we're just going to punch out the 2 little flowers there. And again, I did emboss this panel with the Ornate floral ahead of time. I just used the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to do that. All right, so we're gonna build this flower here. You're gonna want your bone folder to give it a little bit of dimension. As you can see here on the example, these are kind of curved up. And when you wanna do that is what I do is I grip the middle here and then I go really slow and just a very light touch because we don't want to rip that paper, and it's already been gone through the embossing machine, so it's already, the fibers have already broken down, so it's a little bit more delicate than just normal cardstock. All right, so I've bent the flower, the petals going up. So the other one here, we're going to bend them going downward. So again, I'm gripping right in the middle here and going really slow with the bone folder, just so that we don't rip them off there. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to want to do is I'm going to just use some glue dots here. So let me just grab those out of my box. I got a brand new glue dots. We use these a lot. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this petal and just push it or place it on there and just press down, and then we're going to just kind of peel that right up. So now this petal is going downward and this one is going upward. So we're just going to, I kind of did this backwards unfortunately, because I wanted it the other way. And now that I have that glue dot on there, this is going to come in handy, the silicone craft sheet, because we're going to do that over again. So I want the glue dot, or yeah, the glue dot on the one that's going upwards. So let's find one here, and then we'll just peel it off. There we go. That's one good thing about the silicone craft sheet. Well, nothing sticks to it, even hot glue. Okay, so there we go. Then on the other side here, we're going to add another, we're going to take another dimensional here, and we're going to give it some height. So we'll just add that to the back side there. Give it a good press and peel that off. Okay, and now we're going to kind of just place this here, just lightly. And then we're going to kind of look at this sentiment strip and see kind of where we want it. Okay, let me just get rid of this thing here. So I want it extending over, and I'm probably going to want to extend it over here where there's no ink, no butterfly. Okay, and now I kind of know where I want it, and then this will get placed here. So I want to cut off some of this here. So I'm just going to take my paper snips and just do a straight cut right up like that. You could use your trimmer if you wanted to. Mine's hanging on the wall. That's across, so I'm just going to use my snips. Okay, so that looks, I think that's going to look pretty good. So I'm going to take my my seal here, and I want to make sure I put it not on underneath here because it extends over, but kind of where the first P is. So I'm just going to flip this over and just add a little bit right there. And then let's come in here, and we're just going to add this. I'm going to actually put it right to the edge of the designer series paper there. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to push it over just a little bit, just like that. Now we're going to take this little flower we made together, and again, that's using the Perennial, what was that called? The Perennial, it's definitely Perennial Flower Punch. I've had that for a couple years. Okay, so then we're going to take a retired punch. This is my 1/2-inch circle punch that I've had forever. It's a Stampin' Up! Punch that's no longer a current punch, but I think everybody's kind of got a, you know, 1/2-inch circle punch in their craft room. So I'd like to keep some of the ones that I really like to use a lot. And I'm just going to add a glue dot, and then we're going to add that right to the center of that flower. And then the inside. So let's decorate the inside. We got the front. I'm pretty much done. I'm gonna splatter with Stella afterwards. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to carry through the theme of the Ornate Garden paper here, and we're going to add it to the inside. This is cut 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so I'm just going to use my seal all the way around. And then when you put it on, just make sure that this is not really much of a directional pattern, but sometimes it might look like it might go better one way or the other. So just before you add it on, just take a look at it. So that's going to be the inside. And then I die cut some new dies in my craft room are called the Hippo dies. There's lots of nice little banners here, and at the end of this card, I want to show you my April card club and cards that I've designed, and so I use those dies a lot in my April club. So we're just going to take some of that seal, and then we're just going to add this right here because, you know, sometimes people don't know what to say inside a card, so maybe a smaller white panel or die cut will help you out so you don't have too much to write. But I thought that kind of looked nice with the die cut, the basic white die cut, and with the designer series paper there. So that's the inside, and now there's the outside, so it all carries through. Then we're going to take the Wink of Stella, which is next. I like to do this trick a lot, and I showed you guys how to do this last night. The first thing I want to do though is I want to color the center of this little flower here, just to give it a little pop of kind of sparkles. It's got the glitter in there, and it's going to dry nice. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's what it looks like. And it does look really nice. So then what we're going to do is we're going to do that tapping technique. So we're going to splatter some of this Wink of Stella onto the card itself. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have enough Wink of Stella in the barrel. So I'm just going to press where it says push here, and then I'm going to watch it come down into that barrel there. All right, you can be really careful because sometimes it comes out super, super quick. And you don't want a lot of globs on it. So hopefully I won't get that. So I'm gonna hold this Wink of Stella in my left hand, and I'm gonna tap with the take your pick tool. And I apologize, it sounds like one of my neighbors is coming home. All the motorcycles are out today, and where I live, and a couple of my neighbors have motorcycles and are not very quiet. So I think one just came home. So you might or might not hear it. So I'm just basically tapping throughout. Okay, that should be plenty. So I'm going to cap the Wink of Stella. I store mine upright, just like that. And then let's kind of take a look at it. I have no idea if you can see it or not, but definitely you can see, I can at least see the splatter on the card front there. So it just adds a nice little touch to your cards. Now this one here, I did not do the splatter technique. I just colored in the circle there of that perennial flower. So there you go. There's the card we made. I think they're both like really, really happy cards. And this one here, I cut the cardstock at the base differently, a 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, and this one here is just the other way. And see how that looks really nice when you open it up. You're going to see that designer series paper on the inside as well. So let me just take a minute to just kind of scroll through the comments to see if anybody had any questions. Let's see. Yeah, Linda, I came on super, super early, well, half an hour early, just because I want to watch Grey's Anatomy. So it's one of my favorite shows. The embossed folders, yeah. Okay, yeah, Linda, I do that quite a bit. It just adds a nice little technique there too. So, all right. So I'm just gonna want to go over a couple things, and then we'll get to the drawing and who won and all that good stuff from my 4 other drawings. So let me just put these aside. And I'm going to just quickly show you my April card club. Now, I know, Linda, you belong to my card club, and I have 18 people throughout the United States, and it is growing. So last month I added 3 new customers, which is awesome. So these are, I'm going to warn you, they're very bright. Okay, this is was a little tricky for me because I really wanted to use the ice cream builder punch along with that really cute ice cream paper, but the punch is still on back order until April 19th. So I am going to use some bright paper for April. Okay, and it is called, let me just get my little sheet here. It's called Artistry Blooms. Okay, you can see it's very, very bright. But I wanted to challenge myself and, of course, my customers to make some really pretty, cute cards with the bright paper. Okay, so this is what I came up with. You can see this one's not too bad. So it's kind of a fun fold card here. And you can see I use some sequins here that really look nice with the cards as well. Here's the hippo dies. I used Pool Party and Basic White to create that layering effect. And then on the inside, it just kind of opens up like that, okay? I always like to wrap my twine, ribbon, what have you, around so you can kind of see it on both sides. So that's card number 1. Card number 2 is using that doily, which I showed you guys earlier on that card we just made. So this is another kind of a fun opening card. So we've got those hippo dies again, and underneath that we've got this little rich raspberry banner, and then it opens up, and on the inside here I added the butterfly duet punches here in Melon Mambo with a little sequin there, so when you open it up you see that. And then on the inside it's kind of the same deal as the other card. Okay, so that's that one. And then the next one is kind of a bright green card. You guys can let me know what you guys think of these. And it's okay, you can be honest, it's fine. Here's the green card, it's a thank you card. I'm using the Peaceful Moments stamp set for April. And then on the inside here, we're gonna bring that designer series paper to the inside with another one of those large die cuts from the hippo dies, okay? And then here's a really, really fun one. And that's this one here, you guys, it's just a card front, okay? Because I have no Daffodil Delight cardstock left. It's on an order coming to me, but I really needed to use the Daffodil Delight yellow, so I found one piece. So I've got a card front, but not a complete card to show you. But again, it's just a really pretty card using the sunflower dies there. So to get information on my card club, you need to be on my email list. So to do that, you can just go to inspiredbygram.com and just fill out that pop-up. That way you can receive, I mostly just send emails out for card club and any card kits that I offer monthly. So with this month, you're going to get all the supplies to make the cards except for the ink, the stamp set, and the adhesive. You can always add that on. It's not a problem to do that, and I have customers that do that. You'll get a whole bolt of the braided linen trim. Okay, so this is just mine that I've been using. You'll also get, I'm not quite sure how many doilies I'm going to send. I've got to do my pricing on it yet. But you'll get some square vellum doilies. You're also going to get a 6x12 pack of the Artistry Blooms designer series paper, which I'll cut down from a 12x12 to a 6x12. You're going to get a full pack of these Artistry Blooms adhesive back sequins, which I used on all the cards, and they all come in different colors here. So there's orange, yellow, like a pink, rich raspberry, and the blue. So These are really fun, and they already have the adhesive on them. So you just kind of take them off with take your pick tool and add them to the card. So that's really super, super cool. So that is my April Card Club cards. All right, anybody out there that's pretty honest? They're super bright, but that's okay. All right, everybody, thumbs up. I agree, Lori. All right, thank you so for being honest. All right, I did photograph them at work today, so on my break, so I've got some pretty good pictures. All right, so let's look at some of the things we've got over here. So guess what? Veronica reached out to me. So this is going in a shipment tomorrow to Veronica. She won the Punch Party stamp set and some of the Flower and Field Designer Series paper. Now, last chance for Robin2141 at something.net. Your name, your email was picked, but you haven't reached out to me, so you've got your last chances coming tonight. Then I'll put it back in the mix. And guess what? Nighthawk Angel never reached out to me, so guess what? The Stamparatus is going to go back in the mix. All right, so it's not going to be given away tonight or tomorrow, but it'll be given away at some point before Monday. So the winner of the Many Messages Cling Stamp Set is, her email address is mypaperkits@something. Okay. So I don't like to give out the full email addresses, but you're number 2 on my list. So I use the random generator number thing on the internet. So number 2 is picked. So I will reach out to you by email later tonight. And then my offering for tomorrow night, we'll go live again tomorrow night. I have got for you guys a full pack 12 by 12 Designer Series paper, the Berry Blessings, or Berry Delightful Designer Series paper. I'm going to cut this down to card front sizes, so 4 by 5 and let's see, what will I do? 4 by 5 1/4, because it's cost way too much money for me to ship a 12 by 12, but I have a big cutter that will cut this down for you. So whoever wins it will get that. Plus they're going to get the Berry Blessings stamp set. This was all in celebration. So I did earn it and I want to give it to somebody else. Then I'm also going to give one of my cards that I created with this stamp set here as well in a medium envelope, so that will all go shipped together. So how do you win this? All you need to do is belong to my email list. So that's super easy, and just go over to inspiredbygraham.com and just fill out that pop-up. That kind of appears after like 3 to 5 seconds, and then that's it. And then I download the list into Excel right before I come on live, and I let the random indicator or generator thing pick a number, and that's how it's email address is picked. So that'll be given away tomorrow night. And I'm not sure what time I'll be coming on live. Got to get ready for our grandson who's coming to pay a visit with us on Saturday and Sunday. So he's going to be my indicator of when I can come on live and when I can't. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, you guys. I really appreciate you guys supporting me. And I hope you have a great night. And if you watch Grey's Anatomy, I'll be watching with you. All right, take care and be well.